blackhead back in. Yeah, back in. Yeah, I can't even like process the audacity of eating my donuts. The audacity. Anyway, um, see, I can't even remember. Oh, okay. Anyway, so Jackson, as I wouldn't say he was rebellious. I didn't see anything about being rebellious per se, but it was back in like the 70s, 60s, and his father was quite strict. Apparently, his father was an engineer, and they went on a trip like a week or so before the incident. They went on a trip, and they came back, and he was so like so attached to this feeling of freedom, because that's the only way I think I can describe it. Because like when you think about it, like I don't know how small his city was or town was, but if you're from a small town, like I am, uh, just being able to get out of it to another state and going to an actual city, it's it's beyond addicting. It's no, no, Blue, find your bone, go get your bone. Boy, I'm tired of you. It's beyond addicting. It's not uplifting, but like it's wild. It is. When the first time I went to a city, I was so culture shocked. I wouldn't say I almost had like a what's it gonna call it a panic attack, but I did like seriously not understand what to do or how to like interact, because what I'm used to is not a city where you are like there's a bunch of cars, people walking, like a bunch of people, like small town, we're walking, sure, but like not everybody's walking to try to get somewhere. You feel me? Unless you like don't, you know what? Whatever. Um, and tall buildings and stuff like that. So yeah, um I would also want to go explore more. Especially you go back to your small town with your small and same people that you've seen all your life, like the same freaking area, the same routines. Everything's just not enough. Especially when you had that taste of new, of the devil's fruit. Okay, so my boy Jackson was definitely angsty, and he really, really wanted that fruit again. And who to blame him, you know? And his father, being the man he was, decided. I don't know if he's like still alive. I should have looked on us before I came, but I know in 2015 that he was 69. His father. So I'm not doing math, but I'm pretty sure if he's alive, he's still alive. You know. Anyway, so he he sent his son Jackson to uh, a camp, a retreat in a way. Like my son's a bit, a rebel kid, and he needs to get straightened up, boy. Like you can't be out here going crazy just because you had a little devil's fruit. Come on, get back to the normal schedule. Come on, we don't have time for this. You're too old. Let's go. So he sent him to a church that tends to whoosh, get you back in shape. You know, get those children lined up. And my boy, which is very, very, very explainable, wasn't having it. He wasn't going to be there for that long. Um, I couldn't find, which, did I look that hard? No. It was just a short story that was very interesting. Sorry. Next time I will do a lot more research. But basically, he escaped, my dude. Like, I mean, who doesn't? Like, anyway. So he escapes this church retreat, whatever. And at the time, he only wore a t shirt and some shorts. No shoes or anything. So you can tell, like, he ran away. And it seemed like if he ran away with, like, just that like, it's an impulse. Like, either there was abuse or there was, like, just it. Because, like, even if you have some kind of angst of, like, wanting to explore, it it's not that bad where you're gonna just run away with no shoes or anything. Like, you would plan it, especially, like, if you know where you're going or want to go or want to see. So it seemed like there might have been some issues at the church, something that would push him to the edge to just go with nothing, like, you know. So he runs away. He runs to the nearest airport, and Jackson sees a, I can't remember what type of plane it is, but he sees the plane, and he goes in between the wheel. So the wheel and their little hook thing like this, and then the wheel goes back in there. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but like the little storage compartment for the wheel. So he hid around here. Not even an hour or second or minutes, the plane took off. Jackson fell 200 feet to his death. Some believe that he would never have survived because there's like a very, very slim chance of you surviving in the compartment without being in the plane because of how much of exposure you have and how it could squish you and just the near like unsafe it is. It's not for a human. It's for a wheel, okay? And the interesting thing about this case is just the fact that one, the father had the audacity to be on the news talking about how basically his dream killed him. It was it, and that's probably like the only explanation like you could have as a parent. You just had your kid die just because they wanted to do something. But then again, like, do we know that there was things going on at the church? Like, if you didn't have that information, if you didn't have anything else but the fact that he really, really wanted to go and just kind of like did his own death, like, I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of it's kind of hard to digest, especially, and I understand it's hard to digest for his side too, especially when like it might just be your fault and you don't really want to admit that or say that it's your fault. Why? Because like in reality, you don't want to be like I killed my kid or I got him so stressed that he wanted to just leave instead of just waiting for me to like I don't know get enough money or for our next trip. talk about. So, the only reason that anyone or that we know that any of this happened, and I don't even know how long it would take them before they would have found out, was a amateur artist or photographer who happened to be at an event at the airport and happened to just be like, and take picture of it by accident. First of all, he poor kid died at 1970. All done. Lay down. Blue. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Coco. Lay down. Ah. Okay. Sorry, but my dog's gonna be fighting in the background. Yeah. They're a lot. Okay? They're a lot. So, excuse the noise. They're dumb. Oh, they're also tearing up some cardboard, so. Anyway, I feel like I have to get closer to the mic just to, like, freaking, like, what do you call it? Like, get their noise out of the way. Because I'm so annoyed. I'm sorry. I am so annoyed. I'm just, like, listening and just, like, you know what? Everybody else is going to be annoyed. I know I'm annoyed. Anyway, so the amateur photographer takes a picture of it on accident. He goes back home to develop the pictures. So this is a week later, right? And I don't know if you know how to develop pictures. Basically, you're in a dark room with specialized water that you put the copies of film into the water. You dip it, and then you let it sit, and it like comes to life. I forgot exactly what the chemical reaction stuff is, but that's basically how it goes. So my dude here was looking at the photos and he was like, that one's good. It's trash. That one's good. I like that. I'm great. And then he goes, uh, mm, uh, mm, uh, well, is that a luggage? And no, once it developed more and he could see it in the lights clearly, it was a body falling down mid fall from that airplane. And that was our boy Jackson. And it was such a clear photo. Like, I don't think you understand how photography and um, cameras changed over the years. So the fact that he had a clear photo of someone mid fall, like, falling is not some kind of like graceful, slow kind of thing. It's quick. And it's mid fall that, like, it's not blurry. Like, you can tell that this is a human. You can tell that it's a boy. Like, it's that clear. And, you know, he called the cops and everything. And that's when they found the body. And everything else is history. I just thought it was interesting that an amateur artist just, like, I would be on my knees crying. I wouldn't know how to react. I wouldn't know how to even talk to the police. I'll be just like, here, I don't know what to do. I don't, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I just committed a crime. Like, just take it. Like, I don't even want my name on it. Like, it's just that. Like, you can look it up. His actual name. not the artist, but my boy. I can't remember his name at the moment. I'll probably list it down in the description where you can find the photo or read it up on your own time and stuff like that. But yeah, that was our boy Jackson. Oh, I feel so like it's so sad. It's a sad story, especially it because it sounds like he really wanted to do something. He really wanted to be somebody, but wasn't allowed to do that. And I wouldn't say that his dream killed him. I think the restrictions of even being able to know what his future is and understand his surroundings is what killed him. I mean, and I say like it's it's someone's fault, but not his, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so the other one, basically, we're gonna talk a lot about people falling. It's sad, but it's also very interesting because I didn't know about this. I really did not know that there was, like, I knew, but I didn't think that. How do I explain it? Like, I knew it as like an urban legend or like it happens, but not a lot. Like, just rare. Like, if you really, really needed to leave your country or something, it's rare. But this wasn't. This all of this is not, or at least the times lives. You know what? Because I literally just found a 2019 story about a man who fell from a plane. And let me tell you, some twists and turns. And I swear to God, this is an actual story. It might be dramatized, but it's an actual story. Like, let me tell you, it's wild. So put your seatbelts on. It's gonna be wild. Anyway, so well, first of all, look at how cute. Oh, there's two. Hold on. Aw, can you see that? Oh my god. Oh my god. That's mine. And then this one is a cactus. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh. This one has a face. I don't know what it is. I think it's one of those like aloe vera plants. It just looks like I don't know. It has a cute little face. First of all, let's talk about that. I love these potted plants because like I love the contrast of the colors. Like they did a great job. I'm here talking about it like it's makeup or something or art. Ooh, I am blinding up. That's why I got glasses. So sorry if I can't angle it correctly. This one I believe is definitely a cactus. This is definitely a succulent. Yeah. I don't know what kind, especially because of the whole like flower thing. I don't know. I'm not a specialist. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I don't know how to do that. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh. Is this one the friendship plant? Because it's not a cactus. See? I'm lying. I have no idea. Once again, don't believe me. Yeah. Where? Oh, this one's another vine, and I think it might be the patho. That's not what it's called. Bruh. I don't know what it's called, but it's definitely not what I said. So sorry. Look how cute it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I think this one's the same one, except it's a different like style. It's more detailed. You're pretty. I'm thinking of I might do it as like I don't know, like separate them into categories. Maybe potted plants or cactuses. I have no idea, but basically, I still have a lot to go through. I got ADHD, so we're gonna be doing a lot. Okay, wait, didn't I just see this? Didn't I already show you this? It's cute. It's cute. It's not like anything special. Oh, look at this one. This one's the same one, or the same kind as that other one that I was telling you about. So that's what I'm saying. That I'm gonna have to put these in like categories because they double. Like they're the same thing. Duplicate. There we go. They're duplicates, but different styles. So at the same time, they're not the same. Ooh. I don't know why I looked at it and then looked back down. Look at that. It's so pretty. So pretty. So pretty, pretty. Ooh. This one is definitely a choice. A style choice. Look at it. Like I get it. It's a very nice type of what's that word? Texture. Yeah, texture. Where I guess you can see that it's kind of like I don't know. I like it. I have a lot of sensory issues. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, I need to tell you the story too. So, um, if you hear them whine, I'm letting you know now. That is not them. I mean, that is them, but it's not like it's not what you think. They're literally fighting. So it's stupid, and I hate that my microphones can pick it up. I really do. I really do. I really do. I'm just so annoyed at them. But I can't put them anywhere else because literally, like I just said, my freaking dog ate my donuts. So where am I gonna put them? I gotta put them here. I gotta watch them, and then they're gonna fight, and then they're gonna act crazy. So oh, you know what? I guess I could separate them. Like put one of them out there because I know one of them is not gonna be that nosy. The only problem is he's gonna lay on my bed, and he is fur. Likes to get everywhere. Likes to stick everywhere. Why they just can't be like normal dogs? You know, like why can't she just like lay down and just be just a dog? What do they say? Let lying dogs lie to you. That's a funny joke. You got it. So you got this dude, right? I don't know why I forgot his name. Oh, I have a feeling that it's like Dalton, but fact check. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. Once again, uh, I'll leave the links down below. That's so you can research it on your own or just like I don't know, whatever you want. All done. All done. All done. Lay down. Lay down. and wait. Okay, I was wrong. I don't know where I got Dalton, but his name is like Paul Graves. So Graves. I don't know where Dalton came from. But basically, we're gonna be going off of his point of view, and it's wild. Let me tell you, his point of view is wild. It's definitely like a cat and mouse kind of chase. You know what? Let me just you be determined. Anyway, um, so our boy, isn't that cute? It's so simple. So simple. And look how cute this is. Oh, you can't see it, but it goes up. It's another vine. I wonder if it'll be okay if I get like nah. Nah, nah, nah. We're propagating here. I'm propagating, 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 nominating. Look at this, another cactus. So our detective, Graves, Graves, um, he he got onto a case because one, okay, first of all, I don't even think he was like initially supposed to be on this case. He just kind of chose to be on this case to be like, he sounded interesting, you know. Why not? I try something new. For the accent, they're from London, UK, British people. Anyway, so he's like, this is my first time on this kind of case. You know, I do a lot of stabbings. I do a lot of murders, shootings. But this is the first time I got onto this case, and I'm gonna figure it out. Like, okay, cool. That's your job. But you know, who am I? Just do your job. Anyway, so another mastera, master, mas, mas, master. Here's another master. Nas. Me 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 me. Another cactus. Succulent. Sorry for the hiccup. Ooh, ooh, I found another. I found another leaf. And then I found me. Okay, so our boy, see that? Our boy, Greaves. For some reason, I feel like I'm having a little difficulties. So he comes across this case. This is interesting. It's new. It's gonna be anyway. basically what he said, what happened was that that stop. Uh-uh. So basically, our boy Graves, um, oh, my beard, he came across this case, and he's like, okay, so we have a body, and we have some rusty, dirty belongings, and within the belongings included Coca Cola, a few snacks, an extra pair of pants or shorts, probably shorts, but no ID or wallet. So we have no idea who this guy is. We don't. We have no idea who the body is. And at least from the belongings, they don't look like they're from London. My boy, I think he's from Kenya. Kenya? Who is Kenya? Anyway, I think he's from Kenya. Why? Because our detective looked for where he bought or where this Coca Cola can bottle thing came from. He found that it was purchased at a Kenya store. Which is like, okay, good job, detective. So, our detective, he went freaking goose chase. I don't know what he was trying to do, but he had a lot of time. You remember, like, freaking, if you follow freaking crime shows, you understand that detectives and police, they had no time to waste on anybody. They're just like, well, homicide. Well, suicide. Well, accident. You know, like, I don't want to waste my time. Okay, sorry. So, our boy, some reason, I guess London don't have no problems because this guy, he was like, you know what? I will be the one who finds out the identity. Let's take the fingerprints and the blood test. Let's run it. Run it up. So they run it up. No fine. So he's like, okay, send it to Kenya. Kenya said, we don't know who this guy is. Which he was like dumbfounded. He was like, hey, he should at least be in your database. Because one, we believe he's from there. Two, you freaking like fingerprint everyone. Red flag. At least for this detective. Not that he saw a red flag. I'm saying that he is the red flag. Like, you're assuming a lot, kid. You're assuming a lot. Anyway, so he said, as much as this is gonna be my duty, I'm gonna take care of it. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. So guess what this guy did? I don't know whose money he got, but he flew all the way to Kenya. Let me remind you, this is London. London Bridges. Okay? And he flew to Kenya. Kenya, can I have an explanation? Hey, right? So our boy Graves gets to Kenya, and he wasn't going to talk to the police. He wanted to talk, or I guess he talked to the police and was like, "Hey, can you help me out with this investigation? Because I'm trying to find who this guy is." He just happened to land in like London, and I believe he might be a stowaway because, at least from a witness, he fell from a plane. So explain. Um, so they're like, okay, well, I guess we can help, but I don't think we'll have anything because we don't know this guy. I don't even know if he's from here. So they go to the airport, the international Kenya airport. It has a special name, Kenyatta International Airport, and he he goes there and he's like asking around. He talks to the higher ups of that airport. Then he talks to all of the staff. Okay, so did you see anybody? Did you happen to know anything? And they're like, nah, we don't know anything. We don't know, like, we don't even know who you're talking about. So then he's like, okay, so this is weird. This is very, 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 very weird. So my dude's finally picking it up. You feel me? He's like, okay, so this is an international airport that has a grade one. And this, like, they do a grade system where it's like, oh, this is the best airport ever. This best security. Ay. So apparently it's supposed to be packed with security. It's supposed to be good, right? So how did my man's get onto this plane but not get detected? He's supposed to know who and how because you are the security. That's what he's saying. But my dude's he he trusted the airport. He was like, okay, well, I did my investigation, I did my looking, and they're saying no. I can't find any discrepancies, like any errors in like reports or anything. So I don't know. I can't. I can't find anything. So as he, so another thing he did was look at the cameras, right? So the plane that the plane that took off was the Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, and that little plane took like 8 hours to leave. So the first part was it was it stopped at gate. Now I gotta look. Remember, why do I not have this memories? Coco, all done. Blue, no. Blue, no. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. No, leave it. Just relax. Go lay down. Okay, our boy, Detective Gaves, he, it took him 3 months to fly, like, after he took the case and flew to, Kenya, right? So this man is dedicated. I'll give you that. He is dedicated. So while he's looking at the CCTV, he's he's looking at gate 17, right? Where the plane just sat there for 5 hours. No, 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 no. It was okay. So it landed in South Africa, and it was taken to Stan One, where it sat for 5 hours before being moved to depart gate 17, where passengers boarded the flight to London. But the CCTV, departure gate, and runway shows no one. Jumping on the plane. So they're all sitting there like, how's that possible? So the first CCTV didn't show anything. So that means, okay, so when he was sitting at stand one, that means, or when it was sitting at stand one, that means like, yeah, he had it been, because 5 hours went by. Yeah, let's try that. So they look at the CCTV for that one. Guess what? The CCTV didn't work. So we got no footage for that. So he may or may not be been there. Um so my boy's like, are you kidding me? Like, what am I supposed to do now? And he's like trying to figure this all out, but he can't when no one's like wanting to help. No one's really like interested in helping. They all got jobs to do, to be honest. I mean, sure, it's a dead guy. Rest in peace, man. But this detective was very, very dedicated. He also mentioned that when he was heading back to London, they, him and his assistant sat on the plane and watched the workers put like the stuff in the plane and stuff like that, and he was just thinking about how someone, and how sad that someone would have to be to get onto the plane at the bottom and be brave enough to not like feel like you're gonna get squished or anything. He just felt bad for this guy that was just founded, which I get it. I get it. I feel bad for him too. I mean, he didn't survive, so yeah, I feel bad. But at the same time, it kind of feels like know, I wouldn't say insensitive, but it just feels a bit like, hmm, I don't know how to explain it. Pity? I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't sit right with me. At least how he worded it, it didn't sit right with me. But he was also talking about, well, okay, so here we go. I think this is why it doesn't sit right with me. Because earlier, he was talking about how another reason why he feels like this case is important to figure out and everything is because the fact that there has been a bunch of stowaways, but they're all from boats, right? And like people heard of it in London and they know of it, but it's just like a sad story. But you don't hear a lot about people coming from the planes. So this one was more of a wake up call to everybody else. So that's why he felt the need to take the case and figure out what the hell is going on around, you know, around us. Like, why is everybody so desperate to leave, especially with Kenya? So, with his little adventure, he goes back to London, and he so our detective was really more interested in how it started. Um, he saw the aftermath and he saw and felt the desperation, but like I said, he wanted to know the why. So the beginning, where did it all start? That's why you went to Kenya. Couldn't find anything, right? So our boy goes back to London, right? And he's trying to figure this out, piecing little things together, and we start realizing that something's not adding up. I mean, obviously, it wasn't adding up to begin with, but um, so he decided to bring in media, right? He's like, okay, fine. If they're not gonna help me, I need like a bigger. They're not gonna help, but I need a bigger, wide range of witnesses. So he goes to the media, and he also had to convince the Kenya police to at least help with that. Like he obviously knew that the news anchors and stuff like that, like they're not gonna allow that. The government's not gonna allow it. Like, oh, my biggest, greatest airport just happened to have a random person get in somehow. No, we're not gonna let that happen. We're not gonna let that slip. So he at least told the Kenya police that hey, like just be on the lookout um, on anything that could be of any interest. Um, ask around if you can. If not, it's fine. But London knew. Let me tell you that London knew. He also mentioned a random fact. Okay, first of all, it was like random, really random, but I get it. I guess for people who don't research or watch pot, crime, crime shows. I think that's what I'm trying to say. He says people probably think that the police go out their way and just search for clues. But what we rely on is the public and witnesses seeing things and telling us. Yeah, you are a public defender, right? That is your job. Anyway, sorry. So once that happens, he at least gets a um. So what he sent out was more of the belongings, and I forgot to mention there was a initials on the bag, and it said MCA. We don't know what that means, but we have an idea because once the news came out, the reporters at least got something, right? So what came out was a the Sky News, and I believe they're from Kenya. So they come out saying that they figured it out. The investigation's over. We figured it out because guess who? We identify the man as Paul Ansana Masani, um, who had been 29 and worked as a cleaner at the airport. Which I was like, bruh, a cleaner at the airport? Like, I knew he had to been from the airport because if no one else saw him get on the plane, then how else did he get on the plane? You know? Unless, like, there was an inside job and they're just really good at keeping quiet. But they said that they exhausted every possible idea. So, but except apparently they didn't think to ask the cleaners. Just saying. But anyway, so, and they found this information from Paul's girlfriend, who was given the the fake name of Irene. She told them that the initials stood for member of county assembly, claiming this as Paul's nickname. That's a nickname, all right. I don't know what it means, but it's a nickname. His mother claimed to recognize his underpants. That's weird. That's suspicious. How do you recognize your son's underpants? Him being 29. So wouldn't his girlfriend recognize his underpants, not his mom? It's weird. It's really weird, but we'll get an explanation. It's anyway. A journalist, a Kenyan journalist, Willie, was stunned. Like other Kenyan journalists, they were like this, like I mean, who basically were following up with the story. They're like something's not adding up. Something is not adding up. First of all, Like, where did this, like, what? So, trouble believing the case. And he met up with another journalist who had also her disbeliefs that Paul's mother would say that, especially when they haven't spoken for years. So how did this, the math ain't mathin'. The math ain't out. No, no, it's not. I need answers. I need help. I need, what is going on? Okay? So he's sitting there like, okay, you're right. This doesn't make any sense. So let me go talk to the family. So he goes out, he finds the family's address and he goes to the family and he sees the father just hanging out outside and the mother doing God know what inside. And he's like, hey, I'm a reporter and I'm just trying to figure out, is Paul really your son? And like, how did this, like, something's not adding up. The father just straight out said, some white dudes came up to me and gave me $200 and told me to say this. That's it. You got $200 though. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Um, do you remember what these white men look like? No, they just come up to my door, just give me 200. That was it. But we do have a son though, just not Paul. We made up the name Paul, or at least they made up the name Paul and told us to say Paul. Okay. Um, what other information are we missing here then? What? Well, actually, our actual son is in prison. Yeah, we don't know who that kid is, and our son is definitely alive, just not here with us. So the reporter is like, "What the hell?" Okay, so he emails Sky News and is like, "Hey, we found out that this is all wrong, and I don't know how you got this information, but this doesn't make any sense." And apparently, they were bribed to say things. So then they came out saying like, "Oh, my bad. Like, we don't know what happened. I guess we got the wrong information. Sorry, sorry." And they retracted their article. So so one of the reporters was like, or the journalist was like, it's weird to me that like this would happen because one, Kenya doesn't have a culture like that, and we are relatively rich, so compared to other countries. So what is the need to escape? You feel me? So he was like, okay, so when we have our citizens go over abroad or something to try to escape to whatever wherever, like they generally go to the Gulf states and end up being abused by their employees. So generally, you don't have a lot of people leaving, and that's what he's saying. By the end of 2019, Kenya officials have wrapped up their investigation, and no breach had been found at the international airport. It was retained. Oh, it retained its category 1, so it's still the best airport ever. Squeaky clean airport, good security. Mm. Um, then, more than a year later, guess what? This gets interesting. Um, February 2021, a Turkish Airlines landed in Masquerade. And guess what? Above the main landing gear was a 16-year-old Kenya boy. A what? A who? A where? A when? And why? So we got a 16-year-old Kenyan boy. I thought you don't reach us. Luckily he survived, so let me tell you what this 16-year-old boy said. He said when he woke up that I just walked over to the plane, and I fell asleep. So, you know, you know who looks stupid right now? Kenya Airport, International Airport. Uh-huh. Mhm. How did a 16-year-old boy just get in and fell asleep? I mean, we all know how he fell asleep because of the altitude and everything. But still, like, didn't you just say the security is so well, but a 16-year-old boy just walked in? You know darn well, no 16-year-old is gonna make some elaborate plan to even sneak in like that. He probably just walked in. But thank goodness he survived. Um, so guess what? Oh, it's Neverland that he landed in. So, oh yeah, he was also unharmed. He only lasted in the hospital for 1 day. Generally, when like Stowaways have or people get hypothermia, they they tend to last like for a month because they're defrosting, they're like getting fillings back and stuff like that. So the fact that he only needed 1 day, bruh, like this kid, don't do it. Nobody do it, okay? Just because one kid did it does not mean that you will survive. You most likely won't. The percentages are high, okay? Okay. So anyway, so now we got Kenya looking stupid, and they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. We don't know who that is. We don't even know. We don't know nothing. Okay. And I believe because the fact that they didn't say anything or like even tried to denounce this incident, their category didn't change. I think if they reacted to the category or reacted to that case and let people investigate it and stuff like that, their category would have gone down. But I think because the fact that they didn't acknowledge it, nothing happened. Because what can you do? Can't acknowledge it. I mean, you can't like do anything about it if they're not gonna let you come through. So obviously they kept that status. Um, so it took like almost a year for this whole like John Doe man who fell Kenya man who fell from the sky. We don't know his identity. We don't know his story. And we only know that he may have been in his late 20s or early 30s. But he is buried in London. And one thing that I found interesting was one of the reporters mentioned how they went to the grave site or the funeral and watched the whole thing go down. And the what's it called? The Ken, what is he? Like the Kenya's top dog. Who? Hold on. I want to say emissary, but that don't make no sense. Embassy. I was right. That was weird. Okay. So the embassy, he just kind of gave his regards and walked away. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm even surprised that he even went. So, eh. But the reporter thought it was very, I wouldn't say insensitive, but just interesting. They were also mentioning how there has been more deaths, and I don't think it's because of the man we were talking about. I think it was just more of it's coming to light that there's more, many more um, immigrant deaths, which I thought was interesting, but I'm not surprised. There's a lot of things talking about how moving trains, drowning, shot by border patrol, um, electrocuted, beaten to death by racist mobs, detention centers for years, um, where they're subject to abuse physically and sexually. And sometimes they would burn themselves alive. Apparently, since 2014, 10,134 people have died on global immigration routes, according to the Missing Immigration Project. These figures are likely only a tiny fraction of the true picture. So, Kenya having to be in that kind of number system or statistic is interesting too, especially when, at least from this case, there might be other cases where they are more open about what's going on in Kenya and what's, bless you, and what's, I don't know, corresponding, like what's happening. So, but at least from this article, it sounds like we only know so much, but there's probably still a lot more that we don't know. So that was the end of my Kenyan boys. Why is he sneezing so much? First of all, who is that? Why is he sneezing? Oh my god! I feel like it keeps getting louder and louder. It's weird. Okay, so we're gonna take a little break because I need to put some more stickers on my thingy. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah. Two. This one looks like an experiment. Oops. There we go. nice details too. I like the sketches. I like ah oh my god. There's just a lot of these. Okay, first of all, is this like a popular plant that I didn't know that was really popular? Because I literally thought that succulents, the little vine plants, and I thought these were also very hard to take care of. Maybe they're not. And okay, we got cactus again, and this cactus is quite. It's a cool cactus. I was trying to make a pun, but I couldn't. I couldn't think of anything because one, I don't know about the. Ooh, I like what they did to this one. Look how pretty. They did a great job. I'm jelly. I'm jelly. I'm jelly. So this one, I don't know what it is, but it's really pretty. For some reason in my head says tiger literally, but I don't think that's a thing. I really don't think that's a thing. I think I just made that up in my head. This one I believe is it an elephant ear? I'm making random guesses, bro. The only thing or only reason like I know these names is because of Lowe's, because I literally buy plants at Lowe's and then I look at the names. But that's it. That don't mean I did deep research. It just means that I saw names and plants. Oh, I think I found another one. A mastra. A mastura. Mastara. I swear, I think these are like really popular plants. This. What is this? Is this the snake plant? Another cactus. I do know cactuses. This one. This one is an aloe vera. I know something. Oh, is this one the snake plant? Because it looks like a snake. I mean, it doesn't, but I think it is, right? I need some plant experts to help me out. Oh, I found another one. I'm telling you, these have to be really popular. Monsteras. I don't know this one, but the leaves look like feathers. So I don't know how accurate this plant is. This one is a cactus. Look how cute little cactuses. They're all happy. You're so cute. Okay, so this one looks like a basil. I'm gonna be honest. It probably isn't basil, but it looks straight up like basil. Can you see it? Can you see the basil? Um. Oh, I found a cactus that is a shape as a heart. I cactus you. I cacti you. I brain fart. I don't know. I succulent you. I don't know. I I cactus you. We're just gonna stick with that. Another cactus. So, I don't know what this one is. It's pretty. I love the watercolor that they did here. Another mastra. Oh, another feather plant. I don't know where I'm. Oh, another mastra. Mastra. Ooh, I believe these are called pea plant. Pea. swear. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. Like I said, I have no idea these names, but their names. This is another one of the first one we saw earlier. Whoops. And another one. Oh, guess what? Guess what? What I found. Guess what I found. You would have never guessed. Three, two, one. A mastra. Yeah. A mixture of plants. I like when people do that. They're really like. I'm not good at it because I feel like I might kill one of them, and the rest of them are gonna look ugly and die later. Yeah. Ooh, another vine. You almost make me drop my croissant. Vine wrapping. Oh, look at that. Aloe vera. Apparently, aloe vera is very healthy. Apparently, a lot of people. Ooh, you can never guess what I just found. Okay, let's say it together. Really, let's say it together. Mastara. I got so many. I think my book's gonna be dedicated to just that plant. A cacti. A succulent. Ooh, I don't know what this is, but this is kind of. Oh, you know what? Okay, you saw it, right? Cool. This one. What the heck is this? Is it even a plant or is it just a design with like plant colors? I got ripped off. Another succulent. Cacti. 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 Ooh, this one's a watercolor cacti. Isn't it cute? Oh, I almost thought that it had some like a cute little face. Like I don't know what this is. It has red at the bottom. Is that a plant? And what kind of plant is it? Tell me, plant nerds. Ooh, look what I found. Okay, you already saw this, but like, look, the contrast is nice. Is it not? I think it's cute. I don't care what you say. Is this one another aloe vera or is it just a succulent? We will never know. A cacti. A cacti. A cacti. Ooh, I keep hitting it. Okay, some more cactuses. I don't know if you want to see them all because they're. We still got a little bit more, and I don't know how fun this is to you. It's kind of fun to me. Oh, I found another one. I'm loving it. It might be my favorite plant now. I just keep seeing it. Ooh, another red one. What's this one? Get it. Or maybe it's not red and it's rotting. You want to see it again? What do you think? I mean, it's pretty. I think this might be a succulent. I don't fully know. Okay, so I'll tell you one more case, or two more cases. Both of these cases kind of run along the lines, or run in the same market as the case that I just told you about. So for this one, let me tell you. Okay, so this one is about a man who survived. Okay, I mean I did say that there was some others that survived. The percentage of people surviving is I believe it said 1 out of 4 survive, which is still a very high number because, like, I assume no one survives because there's so many risks of just any types of death, like falling, being squished, hypothermia. Like, there's so many risks, but 4 people survive. Okay, but then again, remember that not a bunch of cases are listed, so there may be other cases, maybe more cases that no one survived, and we just don't know about. Look at this. I think this one was a snake one. A snack, a snack, snack. Snack! Oh yeah, this one was there, wasn't it? Okay, so would this be considered a mastra too? But like the little leaf thingies are thinner. So is that a mastra? Or is that like something else? Because it has the same pattern. Like, give me a second. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Okay. So you see this one? And then do you see this one? So wouldn't it be considered as the same thing, except this one is just thinner? Because it's still the chunky leaf, except the holes are bigger. You let me know. Because I'm just going to assume. So, our man's name is Ramirez. And he came from Cuba. Oh, first of all, okay. Random topic. I know this is random, but it's the same. It's on the same line, okay? Apparently, but it might change now. Okay, so this case is 2015 that I'm about to talk about. But apparently, there has been a bunch, or at the time, I don't know if they still have a dictator or what, but apparently there was a lot of escaping. So, was this 2015? That doesn't make sense. Let me go. It was not. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. It was like 1990, maybe? Hold up. Hold the phone. Oh, okay. So 19. How lucky of them. June of 1969. So you remember how I told you the very first case? The poor kid died 1990 or 1970. I wonder. No, maybe not. But hear me out. So my boy Ramirez, right? He's from Cuba, and he wanted to just get away to get a better life. And apparently, at the age of 10, he's been thinking about this. Which I guess it goes to show Cuba might need help. A 10-year-old wanting to leave that bad. But anyway, so him and his buddy, that's 2 years younger than him, or 1 year, I can't remember, thought of this or talked to him about this idea, like, hey, we can go, like, get on a plane, sail away on a plane, and go to a different country. Like, it's an easy escape and everything. Like, let's just try it. So at the time, he was 17, I believe. He was 17 or 16. I'm so sorry. Um, Hold on. Um, yeah, okay, I was right. He was Blue, all done. Blue. No. So he was 17 when him and his friend tried to make their escape. He survived. Let me just spoilers. He survived just to like lighten the mood. Like he survived. Anyway, so him and his friend like scouted out the airport by the fence. They're like, okay, so where should we go? Which plane? Da 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 da. So we don't want to do that one. That one looks like it's gonna bring us to a communist. That one. That one. We want to go on that one. That one's gonna take us. And I believe. Oh, my feet are cold. They were scouting all of this like on a Friday, and then next Tuesday they were like, okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. You know. So his friend that was like 2 years younger than him chickened out halfway, bro. And that's fine, you know, it's dangerous. But them both being kids, our dude Ramirez dragged my man's on the plane with him. So Ramirez got onto the left and his friend got onto the right. And so before, no. I was wrong. Opposite. Ramirez got on the right. Our homeboy got on the left. Or, yeah, his friend got on the left. And what they brought was a rope, a torch, cotton wool, and stuff. Oh, and stuffed into his ear, which I thought was interesting. Let's talk about it. So, what is this cotton wool gonna do for your ears? Because at least from how he described his whole interaction and what he remembers, it's pretty intense. So I don't know what the idea was for the cotton wool to help, but at least for me, the idea was to maybe max out the noise or something, or I don't know. I don't know. So, so while they, so how Ramirez explains it is that, so like I said before, the the wheel compartment, the wheel. So to get in here, you have to climb on the wheel, which apparently to the compartment from the wheel is 6 feet. I mean, from the ground up is 6 feet. So you gotta climb that. Make sure you don't slip or fall. And in the compartment, once you get into the compartment, it's like that. There's like wires and everything, and just the small space to fit the wheel. So what he had to do was, this was more towards the tail of the plane. So what he had to do was just squeeze in between, yeah, the far right. So like in like that little corner space. That's so when it comes in, it doesn't get squished. But the thing is, bro, since this is his first time, it's everybody's first time. And I don't think there was a lot of news or reports or things that you can find of how to do it right. So the first time, his first time, he didn't do it again. I don't know why I keep saying first time, but he was getting squished because once the wheel, he didn't adjust it right. So once the wheel was coming up, his body was getting squished. But luckily, I don't know. Like God was literally watching him. The plane took out its wheel again to, I guess, to readjust. I don't know, but it was just like, you were really lucky. You could have died. First of all, he could have died twice. The fact that he stayed alive through all of this, my man, okay, good job. Anyway, so he readjusted to where that's so it wouldn't squish him this time, right? So he gets in and he's like, cool, I'm all set. So once the plane started taking off, it didn't get too far off the ground until his friend fell off. Luckily, his friend didn't die. His friend survived, but had to go to jail because, you know, you trespass and everything. And I guess he didn't snitch on his friend because, let me tell you, he didn't go to jail either. But he didn't fall off, so he stayed on. And he was saying that he was holding on with his fingertips. And I can't, I've been trying to work on this since I first learned about this. I cannot imagine where or how. You get me? So, how did you hold on with your fingertip? Unless like you're like push trying to use your fingertip to push you up. Cause I can't put that in perspective. Where would you? Because wouldn't your foot be the one that, at least for me, I use my feet and my legs a lot more. So wouldn't your foot be the one holding you up, or what? I'm the math ain't mathin', but then again, I'm not good at math, so who knows, right? Okay, so um, apparent also with the whole like holding whatever, his middle finger was exposed. So during the flight, obviously his finger died. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like extraction, extraction, a word. The interesting part was the way he described it. The way he described his experience, and his experience was um, when he first or when it took off, he felt he felt happy. He felt super excited. He finally is like he's doing it. He's happy. He's like whoop whoop. Um, during this report, let me remind you of how traumatizing this whole experience was when he was talking about his experience. His experience. He was he he was hyperventilating. That's how intense it was. The fact that he was trying to like he was remembering and trying to explain how the landing gear was crushing him. He was hyperventilating. And this dude at the time that was telling the story was 69. Wait, did I get my times mixed up? Anyway, he was 68. Or why do I keep saying 68? It was 69. You know. Anyway, so he was not, no. And he was saying how once the wheel got locked in, everything was black. And it was deafening, and he became part of the noise. That's how loud it was. That you obviously you can't hear your thoughts, you can't hear your breathing, you can't hear anything but the noise of the plane, the engine, the the wind. Like I'm surprised he didn't go deaf when I'm thinking about it now. But I think that's another. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think he put it in his ear, the cotton thing. Um, so he was also saying that the cotton thing did not work, which I'm like, you think? But then again, this is first time, his last time. his only time. And he felt that he was very content and he was happy that he made it. Which, woo woo, scary. But the next part gets even more scary. So after, his little whoop whoops, he leaned against the tires. And I'm assuming he leaned like this. Because I would just fall asleep too. But they were hot to the touch, but cooled down quickly as the temperature and the wheels plunged. It was very, very freezing, he said. And I was shivering and shaking. He passed out, and his next memory was waking up underneath the plane. That's. I don't think you understand, like, the fact that he woke up and woke up that quickly. That's a miracle of itself. I mean, the first miracle was definitely not falling. Second was not being squished. Third is waking up, because hypothermia does not just let you get back up, it lets you go to sleep and stay asleep. It's like a knockout. Anyway, so he was on the ground, and when he was waking up, he was like, and apparently what he saw was faces in front of him. He also woke up again later. I think it was when he was getting picked up to be put into the paramedics. But who found him was the pilot, first of all, which I didn't know this. I guess pilots, they have to do routine checks around their plane, which is really interesting to me because I assume that's the engineer or the fuel person or something that does that, because don't they have like people that clean the plane or that like fill it up or something like that? Because they have people that put the the um the luggage in, right? And they got, I don't know. Oop, I'm I should have looked that up. That is a question that I should have looked up. Learning new things, right? Anyway, so he was like, oh, like, I saw people, I was dizzy, so I passed out again. The pilot was like, bro, I went to go look around and I saw something on my freaking wheel. It wasn't even on my wheel. It fell under my wheel. So how he fell was, it, it was like, he fell under the plane, but it was close to the wheel because it was just like a freaking icicle plopped down. That's what it was. So it was very interesting to hear that because, like, wow. And he survived. That's how cold it was. Like, he froze onto the plane and boop, dropped down. So, accordingly, wherever he went is probably hot AF. Like, the fact that he got defrosted that quickly. So, that being said, my dude's, the pilot was like, hey, there's a body. So they thought that he was dead, first of all. They just left him on the ground. So I think that's another reason where he was able to defrost, because, you know, it's a runway. So it's going to be constantly hot. Constant machines moving, stuff like that. So in my opinion, that's how he got defrosted. So once they got him into the hospital, he didn't wake up until um like a month later. That's how, I don't think you understand. Like, I was reading so many cases about this. That's why I'm so like, thank God you survived, my dude. And he also came out of the hospital with no like long term injuries, long term conditions, or anything like that. I don't. Yeah, he was saying that his blood pressure is normal, his heartbeat's normal, and he later worked as a firefighter for 11 years. Like, that still does not motivate you to go out. I'm talking to you. Don't do it. It's not safe. I promise you, it's not safe. Just because he did it, it's the selective percent. Is that what it's called? When antidote. It's just an antidote. Okay, that ain't the whole statistic. Okay, don't do it. It ain't cute. It ain't fun. It ain't safe. Safety is key. Anyway, so he spent 52 days, and media was all over this. Like, he was one of the first survivors of a plane Stowaway. So they were like, "Tell me about it. What happened? Are you okay? How did you do this?" Fun fact that the majority of Stowaways are men under the age of 30. The youngest was 9 years old. Also a boy. Fun fact, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I'm not super surprised, but I am a bit surprised because I assumed that also women would, especially maybe with children, at least. But then again, like, you would want your child to be safe, so you would probably find a way to get on the plane and not just hanging from the plane. But like I said, there is some crazy countries out there that people just want to escape. Like, not saying that the United States is any better, but still. So once the reporters got on this and was like talking about it nonstop, Cuba got a hold of this, and Cuba authorities were not happy. They were not gonna sit here and take it. They're like, is that right? Okay. We want you back home now, and we're gonna have a little talk. That's it. Luckily, I can't even remember where did he go? He went somewhere. He didn't go back, and I think it was only because he wasn't healthy enough yet. Something. But basically, Castro, he what this is coming from the kid. So he was saying that Castro was talking to his father and saying that either he he bring his kid, or like, I'm taking all of y'all. Um, I don't know how far this went or what exactly went through, but um, apparently, but after a month, oh shoot, I totally forgot. He could not talk. He had to communicate through chalkboard. And the interesting thing about that, oh, did I break this? Okay, I gotta stop touching things. I need a fidget toy or something because I can't be breaking things now. I'll get that coming. Um, but basically, he couldn't hear. It's not surprising. With all that wind and everything, I'm surprised that you got your hearing back in the first place. I don't even think my body could survive like that. I think my body would just give up, be like, that's too much work. You tried, we tried, we're done. And I'll be like, yeah, okay. We did try. At least we tried. But anyway, he survived. His hearing came back. After a month. Did I already say that? I feel like I did. Which I can't remember now. Now you know it's getting late. Anyway, so um I don't know how accurate was Castro, the information that he gave about Castro, but then again that was in 1969, so we don't know. But ooh, he also mentioned that because a reporter asked, like, "Hey, what's your one regret? Do you have a regret?" And he did say that his one regret, his one and only regret, not the fact that he missed his family. No, it was just the fact that after his little incident, and because of the people hearing about it and stuff like that, gave younger people more ideas. So there was a couple of what he says youngsters after him that died, and most of them died. Like I said, he said that was his regret. But could, I could tell you right now that I'm pretty sure that if he knew what he knew now, and be like, "Would you do it again?" He would. I I guarantee that he would, cause you did it in the first place. I mean, sure he didn't do it again, but I feel like he would dead butt do it, because why not? He didn't lose the first time, and he knows that, but it's just started over. You feel me? So I feel like he would do it. Sure, it's his regret that like he inspired other people to do it, but I feel like that was it, just the inspiration. He will still do it. So is that really a regret or what? Um, he he fathered, what was it, 6 kids, and is a grandfather to 12. Let me tell you, I was like, what? I mean, good for him. Like, he really went on and just made himself a little family, didn't he? But how many kids did he have? It was either 6 or 4. Like, it was like really drastic compared to like how many grandkids he got. Like, that's double, triple, thruple. No, I'm just kidding. Um, that was like a lot of grandkids. That was my main focus. I'm sorry. That, like, this is stupid. I know it is, but like at the same time, yeah, I was right. 4. He was a father of 4. And tell me how 12? So yeah, it tripled, right? Cuz like each family probably has, unless they got one of their siblings has 6 kids and the rest had 2, right? Am I doing the math right? The math ain't mathing. 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, okay. So that could be a thing. Or all 4 of them have 3 kids. But even then, that's, I don't know. It's really bugging me. It's really not that important, but it's really bugging me at the same time. Like, and now I want to know. Oh yeah. So somehow he went to the United States and he now lives in Virginia. Okay, can we talk about that? Um, I guess he doesn't have a fear of planes anymore. I mean, I don't think he ever had a fear of planes, but the fact that like he he's from Cuba and he traveled. to, or Stowaway to Havana. Was it? No, no, no. Madrid. Madrid. I don't know where or what that is. Oh, okay. Spain. He went to Spain from Cuba, and then went to the United States, but on a plane, not outside the plane. I don't know. I think I would have a fear of planes at that point. I don't know. I mean, I have a fear of planes now, so do I really count? So the last case that I wanted to talk about was this. Um, Not a lot of women, like I said, not a lot of women do this, and this case is like she's not the only woman, and she's not like the first, but she is one of them. So, um, what she did is she shipped herself in cargo. Yeah. Much smarter than the boys, but still dangerous. So what she did was she bought. I'm pretty sure she bought it, not make it, but she bought a cargo, like a big wooden cart, put herself in it, and it's so small that she can only like lay down but not get up or sit up in the fetal position. And I can't remember how tall she is, but someone was saying no one else could probably do that, like because she's a short woman, it was possible. But basically, she's also from Cuba, and she shipped herself. Apparently, she was in school at the time before this to be a lawyer. I don't know what happened, but basically, Cuba don't have a good reputation, and she felt that there was not a lot of opportunities for her to even be in Cuba, so she wanted to get out. And I guess she didn't have enough money to fly out, so she shipped herself to the coast of the United States, so Bahamas. Did I really just said that? I sound real stupid right now. I don't know if Bahamas is part of the United States, but basically she went to the Gulf Coast and she landed in uh, was it Key West? I can't remember, but basically the Bahamas. And she was found by, I can't remember who found her. Like either the people that were taken, which is weird. Okay, which is weird. I want to talk about it. Is like, so she was put on the plane, but was found when she was getting off the plane. And I wonder if she was found because of the weight, but that's the weird thing. Unless they put it through security, like the 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 X-ray. But it's just the weird thing to me is just the fact that like, okay, so you weren't sus when you were putting it on, because I'm pretty sure that thing was heavy. Like no offense to her, like it's a human body, but I'm pretty sure it's heavy. And a wooden box, god dang, heavy. But so she got on, or they got her out. That felt real nice because the freaking flight was 6 hours. And let me tell you, if I had to deal with that, I oh, I would be complaining in my head the whole time. You know what? I would probably take some meds. I would probably go to sleep because like I could never be saying, what is this gnat doing? going in front of the freaking camera. Um, so so she so she gets there, found out, but luckily they let her stay. So there's a dry land, wet feet or wet foot, something, 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 something. Um, yeah. So there's a policy that we have, and I don't know if it's with everybody, but it was definitely with Cuba, where, um, oh, she got to Miami. I was right. So she got she got to stay because of that policy. Generally, people don't get to stay because if you're shipped or if you're like traveling on boats and the Coast Guard finds you on the boat and not on land, they'll return you. So there was a case. So there was a case of a group of immigrants, Cuban immigrants that were trying to get into the United States that was traveling on a makeshift boat made from a car or a truck, and the Coast Guard found them and said, "You better turn that thing around, turn it around, turn it around." So then, like a couple years later, they did it again, and I believe, yeah, they had to go back again, and this time it was with another truck, but they got found out again and was told to whip that thing back. They did allow a mother and a 9-year-old boy to either 9 or 4 years old to be able to live in the United States. I mean, it's very nice of them to let you do that, but like, okay. So once she got to Miami and everything, she got her citizenship, and she is and was, because I don't know if she graduated yet, but she's working as a or working towards being a nurse. And I guess because maybe law is different in the United States versus Cuba, but I feel like you could probably just get that transferred. But maybe she doesn't even like law. Um, but yeah, so the judge said, you're a citizen here now. Good luck. Oh, and I think the only thing was that she had to go back once in a while. And I don't really understand that reason. And it might be more difficult or more complex than I think. But that was one of the conditions or one of the rules, I guess. The funny thing is, her family didn't even know. They're like, yeah, we heard something about her, like, traveling, but we didn't know that she was going to ship herself to the United States, because that makes a difference, I guess. So that was interesting to me. But they do describe her as a very sweet, responsible sister, friend, and stuff like that. So I think it's fine. I think it's pretty cool that she did that. I don't think traveling on the will of a plane is fun or good. Well, okay, now I'm thinking. So, because she really does not talk about her experience, and I don't know if she literally knocked herself out to be on that plane ride, or if she just doesn't feel like talking about it. But she does not talk about it, or at least I have not found her talking about it. She also studies English. I forgot. She's doing a great job. Good for her. Keep up the great work. You're amazing. Ooh, that looked real sarcastic. You're amazing. You're amazing. Oh, you know what? Fudge it. Whatever. You're amazing. I think you're cool. Um, but yeah. Um, so I think it's even more interesting that I don't know. I just you know that there's gonna be more people that are gonna be like gonna try to do that again or try to like imitate it, but like maybe make it better or something like that. And it sucks because that there's no better way to try to escape a communist or dictatorship country, and it sucks. It really does. You either risk your life or risk your life staying. But anyway, that's it for today. I did not finish my stickers. I guess I'll finish them next time. Next time I'll probably be talking more about planes because I love talking about these planes. But I'm tired. My dogs are doing the most. I'm sorry. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah. I'll see you again. Peace. Really? Can you not? Hey, Blue. 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 I can't with these dogs. Whoops.